am I about to send my ex into my bedroom to wake up my husband at 2 o'clock in the morning? And if I do this, is my husband going to accidentally shoot my ex? And so then I'm contemplating my life then too. Like, what am I doing?
Rise and shine, ladies. You're tuned in to Skirts Up with Samantha and Melissa.
We got your daily dose of hope and humor while we discuss everything from failing to succeeding
and all the spiciness in between.
Hey everyone, we are back again. This is Samantha
and Melissa.
All right, guys. So in each episode, you'll notice that we will start off with a fail of the week. Melissa, what was your fail of the week?
Okay. I get home and my husband is angrily opening the mail.
Oh, this sounds good. Because Brett angry?
Oh, yes.
Aggressive?
Yes.
What?
He was aggressive. He goes,
oh no,
you got a ticket. And I was like, how do you know it was me? And he goes, because I already looked it up and I was at work.
Busted.
And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, okay, where? And he's like, it's right down the street on Peachtree because we live in Sugar Hill. And they did put in a camera.
Did you know about the camera? Or is this how you learned about the camera?
I knew about it, and even my friend Jacob and I, we drove past one day and we were talking. He goes, they said there's a camera, but I don't know where it is. And I was like, it's probably there to scare people. I'm so embarrassed. You guys, the worst part of it was a school zone.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting?
What?
My fancy little mom car, it tells me when a school system with a camera is coming up and it goes, ding.
What?
Ding. You're going too fast. Ding. Ding.
Really?
And it warns me that I am entering a school zone with a camera and that I better slow my ass down.
That is sweet. What car do you have for everybody?
It is a Telluride.
Yeah.
The newest edition.
That's what
it's pretty fun.
It is. And that's what one of my best friends, Pyle, her husband just got a Telluride.
I'll tell you a fun story about this Telluride another time. But
oh wait, no, you gotta have to tell it now.
Oh, is that gonna be my fail of the week now?
That's a really good fail.
All right, so we'll call my fail of the week my Telluride fail. All right, so I don't get out much. I don't go anywhere. This is before seizure time, though, so I was getting out at least more.
You were actually leaving.
So Melissa and I had gotten together with my friend Courtney, my best friend.
Her bestie.
And we were she listened to this podcast called I've Had It, and it's her favorite podcast, and she asked us if we'd go with her so that she could go see them live. And so we go with her to the show. We had a great time. Courtney and I are not responsible together, mind you. Like, anything bad that could happen will happen, and we don't need to go into that. We did have fun, though.
A little bit.
Lots of fun. It's probably the latest.
We did not do anything that would break any marriage vows or anything like that.
Oh, of course not. We didn't do anything
still good girls.
That I wouldn't tell my mama. Maybe not her mama, but...
Oh, yeah. I don't talk to my mom about a lot of things, but I told my husband.
Oh, our husbands would be so proud of us. We did something and nothing bad happened.
Okay, that is so cute. I think I must have already left at that point.
Literally, we high-fived at the door and we were like, oh, chest pound. We did something good. Nothing bad happened. Our husbands are going to be so proud of us. Like, yes, we're adults now. Well, I start driving home. And I'm driving home, and I'm probably a little over halfway home. We live like an hour away, hour and some away. And I'm over halfway home. My husband and I have already gotten off the phone with each other. He's trying to stay awake for me, even though it's way past our bedtime.
That's sweet.
So I'm driving home. Now I'm on the stretch of like Darkness Road because I live out in the sticks. And I'm driving, and I was using my phone as my GPS. And everyone tells you, like, you know it's illegal to not hold your phone and drive, and they make these little contraptions that'll hold your phone for you. And I'm just not that. With it. Even though my fancy Telluride also has it also has a map. My phone fell, and just like any other normal human, I go and I catch my phone mid-fall, and I stick my arm down in between that hole.
Wait, is the success in the story that you caught your phone?
Sure. Still nothing bad has happened. I caught it before it fell in between the crack of abyss. But then my arm was stuck. My arm was stuck in the hole.
Well, you followed it into the crack of the abyss.
I did.
Actually.
But isn't that what everyone does? You go and you catch your phone and you try to catch it before it falls.
It's instinct. I cannot fault you. I wouldn't anyway.
Well, okay. So there is a positive to the story. All right. So I'm driving. My arm is literally stuck in this hole of my car. And so now I'm driving at 2:00 in the morning sideways in my car where my head, I'm short, is just barely above the steering wheel because my arm is fucking stuck. And I'm driving and I like cannot get my arm out and it hurts. Like I can feel my skin being cut. And I'm like, what do I do? And I'm about to drive past a police station. I'm like, do I pull over? Because I'm trying to call Simon.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so my car with my other hand, Weren't
you trying to use voice command or something?
I hit my voice command real fast and I'm stuck sideways and I'm like, call sexy bearded man, because that's my husband. So I tell my car to call him. He doesn't answer. And I mean, we've just been off the phone like for 10 minutes. The only thing I know what to do is call my mom at 2:00 in the morning. And so she answers the phone. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no. I was like, my arm is stuck. And she's like, what do you mean your arm is stuck? And I had to explain to her where my arm is stuck and why it's stuck. And I was like, I'm passing a police station. I don't know what to do. Like, my arm is being cut. Do I stop? And she goes, did you drink? And I was like, I mean, like hours ago. And she was like, I don't know. I'd be kind of worried that like you could get in trouble for that. And I was like, maybe. Okay, I'm going to keep driving. And then like my arm is just, it's throbbing. I can feel circulation being cut off.
It was hours ago though. Like there's no way you were driving.
Probably. But like, I don't know.
It's still scary.
You don't know what can happen. And so then I'm passing a fire station. I'm like, Mom, what do I do? Like, do I stop at the fire station? Do I ask them to help me? And then she goes, I don't know. She goes, maybe if you can just get home. Maybe
so
Simon.
Don't call Mom.
She's like, if you can just get home. So she stays on the phone with me for the rest of the 25 minutes and my arm is fucking stuck in the car on the way home. And I pull into the driveway and then I'm staring at my house. I'm like, Mom, if he's not answering the phone, how is he going to know I'm out here? And she goes, I don't know. She goes, well, try calling him again. I'm like, okay. So then I go to the other line. And I try to call him again. Of course, he doesn't answer. I come back over and I'm like, Mom, he's not answering. He's asleep. And I was like, I could honk my horn and wake up one of my kids and hopefully they'll go get him. And it'll be fine. I was like, but then I got to explain to my kids why I'm fucking stuck in my car at 2:00 in the morning. And so then I was like, I don't know what to do. Call my ex. And so my mom's like, you want me to call Andrew? And I was like, I guess he'll hear it. And so she calls Andrew and he answers. And he lives 8 minutes from our house.
I did tell you in episode 1 that he is a really nice guy.
You did.
He will be there for you.
He will help us and our kids, including mine and Simon's child that is not his at any given moment, whenever. That is just him. Really He's single, ladies, though, if anyone's curious. He is single. So Andrew answers. He knows my mom can't come and help me because that would be like World War IV. And 3? Is that what people say? 4 or 3?
3.
Oh, whatever. I don't know. I mean, okay. Continuing on. So am I about to send my ex into my bedroom to wake up my husband at 2:00 in the morning? And if I do this, is my husband going to accidentally shoot my ex? And so then I'm contemplating my life then too. Like, what am I doing? And so somehow Andrew pulls up and Simon is walking out of the house. Somehow. I don't remember. I think Simon might have finally woken up, saw my 20,000 phone calls and called me back. And Andrew's standing next to me. And I was like, I need you to come outside. I need you to come outside right now because things are happening. And Andrew's here and I need you outside. And he was like, oh, okay. And so he comes stumbling outside. And so then the boys are talking about, like, looking at my hand. And they're like, why can't you just pull it out? And I was like, do you see these cuts on my arm? That's from me trying to pull it out. I am bleeding. And so then we're like my mom's on the phone. And she's like, oh, my God. Like, what is that? My baby. Don't let the car eat my baby. Instead of the dingo.
Yes, I do. Thank you for explaining.
I don't know anything about where the dingo came from, but I know that saying.
Oh, I think it's from, I'll think of the name. I'll think of the movie. It's from a 90s movie.
Well, I'll stop making the story so dramatic. The boys end up.
But you're stuck in your car at 3 in the morning and you can't go to bed.
It was dramatic. The boys, one of them's pulling, one of them, I can't remember which one's doing what now, but one of them's leaning over me and had unbuckled me and then is pulling my seat from my right side, is pulling my seat as far as they can towards the driver door. Away. One of them had my hand and was trying to help maneuver my hand, and one of them was pulling the seat away, trying to get.
But you got out.
I got out. Yeah. I eventually I did get out. Andrew went home. Simon was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "You'd be so proud of us. Nothing bad happened until the car ate me." Because it ate me.
So that's the Telluride story, and we can blame it on the Telluride.
That is the Telluride. And Andrew immediately the next day bought me these like little Gap things. And
okay,
so
that is adorable. Didn't know that part of the story, and that's hilarious.
And so now that there's a Gap thing in my car.
I didn't even know they had those.
I didn't know either, but apparently it's common that Tellurides eat your hand. Wait a minute. Don't stick your hand down that hole. Out of all the holes, don't stick your hand down that one. Thank God for voice call.
Yeah.
Because I was able to call for help.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a positive 3. Still nothing technically bad happened.
I'm going to say the positive is now we can share with you in our links that little spacer thing.
Yes.
So it doesn't happen to you.
The moral of the story, don't stick your hand down the fucking hole. Don't do it.
Or just get a spacer thing.
Or get a spacer. Moral of the story.
Moral of the story is sometimes there's not a real positive to your fail, but a fail is a good way to remind yourself
not to do it again. But on the flip side,
tell me,
do you know how many fucking school tickets we've gotten? Like at one point I thought that our license was going to be revoked.
Oh, no.
Like, I'm serious. We got like...
They don't mess around in school
We got
zones,
like 15
obviously.
school zone speeding tickets in like a couple of months span. And I was like, between Simon and I, like between the two of us, and I literally thought, like, when do they take your license? Like, how many of these can you get before you like really get in trouble?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe we should look that up.
I should look that up. Well,
So
today,
we have learned.
live and learn. Don't stick your hand in holes. Don't speed in the school zones.
That's right. Don't speed,
Well,
kids.
but it's fun.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't do it because it was fun. I just did it because I was being absent-minded.
Oh.
And actually, I wasn't really speeding for the regular. Yeah, okay, fine. That's no excuse. You shouldn't speed in a school zone
Melissa,
for sure, 'cause kids
you'll
could
like
die.
speeding. Let's take Simon's car out for a spin.
Oh,
You'll
that
like
would be
it.
so fun. He
The
has a
speed
nice car.
zone. It goes. Woo!
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do like
It like
to go
sucks
fast.
you back into the back of the seat when you like tap the gas because it's so like it's got
Ooh.
that horsepower that's so hard. It just like it sucks you back.
That sounds fun.
It is fun. Courtney and I
I
have
wonder
fun.
if we could like rent. Can't you like go to a racetrack and
You can.
rent like super fast cars?
And I have a burning desire to drive like a McLaren someday. Like I maybe want one.
I don't know
And,
anything about
like,
cars, but
I wanna
would
own a
sit
Corvette.
next to you while you drive that.
That'd be nice.
I would love to drive a fast car. I don't know what though. Like, yeah, I know what a Corvette is,
Yeah.
but I don't really know what a McLaren is. What's
Well,
a
I'm
McLaren?
still at minimum 6 months away, so we'll see what happens.
6 months away from driving a McLaren. Oh, I was like, she's about to be rich.
I
She's
wish.
talking about her seizures.
I wish.
So what's on the front with that?
Well,
If you want to share.
if we are feeling a little froggy next week, I get this fun little contraption put
What's
on my
froggy?
head. If we're feeling froggy, like if we're feeling like, a little frisky, like we want to have some excitement. Is that
I've never heard froggy in my
is
life.
froggy not the right word? Did I make
I
that
mean,
up?
I can't imagine like my husband wanting to have sex with me and being like, "You cute little frog, you."
Is froggy not the right word?
I don't think it is.
Oh, I might have made that up.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't you say frisky?
No, because frisky's not the word I was trying to say.
She was trying to say froggy. Okay,
I was
moving
trying to
on.
say froggy, like
She meant
silly.
frog-
Like if we want to get a little crazy.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
you know,
froggy.
like crazy, like a frog.
That makes sense, right? We will record our next episode in video while I got this fun little ambulatory EEG strapped to my head.
You're talking about us feeling froggy, not you and Simon feeling
No,
frisky.
you and me feeling froggy.
Oh my God. So maybe frisky's not the word.
It wasn't the word. We're not going to get frisky on camera, Melissa.
But still, I wouldn't say like froggy either, but that's okay. Yeah, if we are feeling like little frogs next week,
You can't even say that with a straight face.
then we are going to film her with the E. So what she's basically saying is you are going to be wearing one for how long?
3 days.
Okay, good. Good, because we really did. Why don't you, can you share what happened last time when we were recording?
Oh, yeah.
This is actually a good thing. And it
actually did turn out good. That's another fail for that should have been my fail today. Anyways, it's not really
They
a fail.
don't care.
It's not really a fail.
they just want to hear all the stories.
We tried to record this
Actually,
episode
it's
for
not.
y'all earlier in the week. We tried to do it like 5 days ago while we were recording. And all of a sudden, I don't even know if the words coming out of my mouth were even what we were talking about. I'm going to be quite honest. And all of a sudden, I just remember shaking my head and not remembering what we were talking about. And I remember Melissa saying, "Are you about to have a seizure? I think you're having a seizure." And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And then it was a seizure. And so she called Simon and was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't like, and he was like, oh, okay, well, let's see if we can give her the emergency meds. But he didn't have the answer. We don't have the answer. Had a seizure. And too late to give the emergency medication. Seizures knock me out. I am so confused. I can't put together words, sentences.
In Andrew's words, her body is now trying to catch up with itself.
And I would say that's what it felt like. And for the next it takes me 2 days to be able to put words and sentences together that makes sense. It just doesn't process. I can't process things. And it wasn't until about like probably 6 that evening when I finally was like at least coherent enough to be like thinking about like, man, what? This happened again? Like, I'm really sick of this. And I'm sitting there and I'm like sitting there and I go, Simon. He's like, what? We were recording an episode.
It's funny that you remember it that way. Not funny. It means that you weren't coherent because we did talk about that.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were like, we got you under recording and we replayed it and watched it together.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They get you. I don't know. That is wild. Well, I think I have it on camera.
Yeah. And you were able to show him?
Yeah, we watched it together and then we cut the like clip out into a smaller clip of where you see it happening and then you see like how it came about and then you see the after where I just can't put words together. I can't put a thought together. And we were able to send that to the doctor and now we have the EEG scheduled for next week for 3 days.
Which is great because it's been how many months now trying to
It's been 6
figure
months.
out
Trying to figure out type, which this doctor is a new doctor and he's on his shit. He already like knows what kind we're having, just wants to get that evidence.
Did the video help? Or he hasn't seen it or
I'm still
yet?
waiting
Okay.
waiting on that.
But so that was actually a really good thing.
It was.
that
It felt
came
like
out
a
of something
fail. I was
stressful.
very upset. I was depressed
She
for
was so
the rest
mad
of the
at
week.
herself, but like
I was
you
very
wouldn't be
depressed the
mad
rest
at
of the
somebody who broke their leg and couldn't walk across the room, or somebody who
No.
had, I don't know, diabetes and couldn't eat the cake for
This
their birthday.
is-
I don't know.
This
like,
is the only thing I have that I can control is this podcast, what we're doing, what we're talking about, when we record it. Like, this is the only thing I have to control in my life right now. So when something like that happens unexpectedly, I can't even take care of my kid at that point. I can't take care of myself at that point.
I'm gonna throw. Yes, that is awful, and I'm gonna throw in a wrench to that. In the Buddhist mindset.
Ooh, now we're getting Buddhist.
But one of the main things that is taught is that we have no control over anything. We don't own anything. We don't have control. Anything that we have could go away at any given moment. And if we can accept that, we're going to actually be able to roll with the punches a lot easier.
I'll think on that.
Think on it.
I'll think on that, see
It's
how
hard.
I feel.
Life is rough, but we're getting somewhere. She is going to possibly be wearing the, what's it called? Headset.
Ambulatory EEG.
Next recording.
All right. Well, today, our episode is making friends after our 30s. And let's see. Today's episode is called Making Friends After Your 30s. So I remember when my mom turned 30. Like, I remember that day. The day my mom turned 30. We lived in Texas. She's depressed. She's really sad leading up to this day. Like, she's just dreading it. So she gets a card in the mail from her friend. It's a picture of an old woman with boobs sagging to the ground. And it's something about, now you're old, you're 30. I remember she spent the whole day in the bathtub, just very upset, didn't want to talk to anyone. She just sat in the tub all day, crying
that's
over
so sad.
being 30 in this tub. And then, later in her 30s, we are in Georgia and she's doing the carpool from, my school to ROTC, and she's carpooling with me and all my other friends in ROTC, driving us back and forth to wherever. And I remember like it was to the point where she'd be like, y'all need to turn that music down. I'm trying to see. And we're like,
You're 30 now. You're blind.
I mean, at this point, she's probably 38,
Oh,
30,
okay.
35, 38, whatever. She's in her 30s. And I'm like, how is that going to help you? And I'm cracking up. She's like, if she pops a curb or any little minor thing that she does on accident while she's driving, I'm like, God, Jesus Christ, Mom. Like, when you turn 30, I think the license should be revoked. And then she would get so offended. She'd be like, oh, you just wait. You just wait until you're 30 and you see how you feel. And joke's on me because I am 30, just turned 30, and I can't drive.
Oh.
I find it hilarious. My mom.
Damn, that's some karma.
It makes my mom very sad when I say that, but it cracks me the hell up because I'm like,
glad that you're laughing about
jokes on me. What age when you were little did you, like, if someone said, hey, 10-year-old Melissa, at what age do you then call someone old? What age would you say?
Maybe I'm old now because I feel like I'm so removed from that I don't know what I would have said in all
I would have
honesty.
said 30.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I, for some
I
reason,
think
really
I
felt
might
like
have said 50 or 60.
you're more respectful. My
maybe
kids,
that's because my dad told me you're halfway dead at 50.
we say that we're getting old and that we're so old all the time that my kids at like 7 years old, they're like, you're not old until you're 80.
Oh, that's sweet.
And we're just like
And
looking
it's
at them and
true.
we're like, huh,
How are they so advanced
how are they so smart?
and evolved?
Yeah.
I was going to share, I know we're talking about our 30s. The worst birthday I ever had was when I turned 20. And that was because my dad and my mom, so I was a nanny and I lived in Ohio and I caught a bus for my birthday and went down to Kentucky where my parents lived. And while I was there, my dad just started like, he started like just like yelling and getting upset with me. Like, you're 20 years, see, in the Mormon church, you're kind of old if you're not like, and I had never really had a steady boyfriend at that age. And he was just getting on my back like, you are 20, you're not married, you're not even having a prospect of getting married. And I just felt awful. I felt like I was so old and I was going to be this old maid and nobody was going to want me. And so I was just crying. I was just bawling and my dad was going at me. And that was my 20th birthday. And I remember thinking, I'm so old. And now I wish I could go back because I was even later, like after my mission when I was 23, 24, and I was in the singles ward is what you call it. Because when you reach the age of 18, instead of going to church with just everybody else, you go to church with other singles, other people up into the age of 30 because they want you to freaking get married.
Interesting.
Yeah. And as a return missionary, because there's another old trope in the church where girls only go on missions because they couldn't get married and they weren't cute enough. And so I felt like there was something wrong with me as soon as I turned 20. And that was hard. That was really hard because I do wish I could go back and say,
yeah, normal.
You were fine. Yes, you're normal. 20 is so young. 23, 25 is young.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway.
In our 30s, we still don't have our shit together, it feels like. But we do.
Yeah, you look at people in their 30s when you're in your 20s and you think.
I still, when someone goes, what do I do? When like someone in their 20s goes, what do I do about this? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know, go ask an adult. And then they like just stare at me silently. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's me. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I should have an answer. When I turned 30, I think my 30th birthday has probably been my favorite birthday, the one that stood out the most. I had been planning that thing for, and this was just a couple months ago. I've been planning that birthday for a year.
That's really cute.
My best friend Courtney and I knew that we were going to do a photo shoot, and we dressed up in pink tutus.
With Courtney's permission, can we link some of your photos?
Yeah, of course. I will link those. Look them up. They are so cute. She did a smash cake. And of course, I'm just a little princess. So like, you know, I just stood pretty with my cake and I don't drink alcohol anymore, but, you know, acted like I had a bottle of champagne and, you know, acted cool. And like,
you can be cool without alcohol, but I think you're just saying you wanted to get across the idea that it's a party.
But also like, that's our thing. Like our progression photos that we do together, we have this pose.
You do progression photos?
We do.
Like every year?
Not every year. It's like at big milestones. So like when I was pregnant with Nora is honestly when this photo progression started. We have some with our kids too that we do. But with us, it started when I was pregnant with Nora. And there's a photo, a very specific photo of us sitting on the couch in a specific way. And I have a plate sitting on my stomach of food. And she's got the alcohol because she can drink and I can't.
Right.
But yeah, so I planned my birthday. I planned me and Courtney with our husband, Courtney and I, with our husbands. We went to Mexico for the first time and we stayed in a adult only, all inclusive.
Talk about jealous. It was me.
It was so needed, especially with all the health issues we've been going on with me. And then my poor husband has so much family drama going on with his mother-in-law and trying to help his sisters and just a whole thing. And so we needed it. We needed a break first off. So it was great that I planned it. Yeah, so it was really enjoyable. I had a lot of time. We stayed in a really nice hotel when we did the photo. So it was just like a birthday that just extended and kept doing great. I had a blast. I loved it. I don't even know if I was expecting it to be so good because, there's my mom's experience and then there's Friends. I think most of us binge watch Friends on a regular basis. And you think of that episode where Rachel turns 30 and it shows you a clip of when all of them turned 30. Rachel's mad about it and Joey's crying about it, yelling at his birthday cake. Why, God? Why? We had a deal. It was not supposed to be me. And that's why this episode is called that, because that's the 30 clip that comes to my head. Even though it could have been 30, flirty, and thriving, but
That's cute.
I like Joey's version.
Why, God, why?
Do you remember, were you excited for your 30s? What did you do?
It's weird because I actually don't remember my 30th birthday. I really don't. I know where I was and what I was doing. So in 2008, I did have an emotional breakdown that led me to move from South Carolina to Texas to stay with some of my best friends in the whole world. So her name is also Melissa, but it's Scott and Melissa. They're married and they have 2 kids. So I always call her Melissa Walker, by the way. But Melissa and Scott took me in. They helped me get on my feet. I had a dog. I had Waverly. She was my bestest friend in the whole world. Like when I first moved to the Walkers and I was going through a rough time, I remember saying, I really wish I just had a dog. And they were like, get a dog. And I thought, this is your house. Like, you don't have any pets. And they didn't care. They just wanted me to be healthy and happy. And we got a dog. And she was an inside dog. And she was my baby. And obviously,
another push.
Yeah, right? When I was 30, I was in school. At the time, I thought I was going to go for nursing. Yeah, I honestly don't remember a lot. I think I just was doing a lot to try to get on my feet. And that's okay.
That there are time frames for everyone where it's just getting on your feet. I think most of my 20s was swimming.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of memories about the 30th birthday. I do have a lot of memories about my 30s. Of course, nothing was the way I thought that it was going to be when I was younger. I thought I was going to have my shit together. I was going to be married. I was going to have kids because that's what I was kind of raised to have and want. And the truth is, I think I did want kids, to tell you the truth. My ex-husband and I, we actually had some miscarriages. I was nannying. I wasn't like working in any kind of corporate position. I had gone to school when I was younger to be a dental lab technician, but when I had like my breakdown and everything in 2008, I moved to Texas and just kind of dropped everything. The Walkers were so supportive in letting me just kind of take time, not do anything for a little bit. I kind of helped out around the house and watched their kids, and then through word of mouth. And since I had nannied when I was younger at the age of 19, word of mouth got around, and I just started babysitting and nannying for a lot of people. And I did that for 9 years. I also worked at a barn. This helped somebody. Her name was Gloria. She was also an amazing person. Yeah, so my 30s weren't what I thought. Let's just put it that way. I felt like I should have had been further along than I was.
I think everyone
I'm starting
does.
to learn that there is no.
I think leading up to your 30s, everyone starts freaking out of like, my life should be together. Like, I should know exactly who I am. I should know exactly what I'm doing. And that's just not the case. I think your 20s are a trash fire. And so then you're like leading up to your 30s and you're like, holy shit, I still am on fire. I'm still on fire. And your 30s is figuring it out. Getting it together is what I think your 30s
even go so
are.
far as to say your whole life is just figuring it out. And I have a feeling, because here I am in my 40s, I don't feel like I have it figured out. And I wonder, we'd have to ask, but I wonder if there's people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who feel like they still don't have it figured out. I don't know. But I would venture as far as to say life is just about figuring it out. And there is not, it gets really frustrating, all these societal, like, mile markers that people try to give us. Like, you should be here. You should be doing this. You should. I just don't think that's how it works. I think we're all very unique individuals and we all have a different path that we're taking to get where we're going in the end. Melissa Walker, I look at her and I'm always like, she's got it together. I want to be her when I grow up. She's my best friend, obviously, but she's a therapist. She owns her own house. She has her own practice. She owns 3 or 4 horses. She just has all the things that I look at and think, oh, I want to be there. But in her 30s, she had some anxiety and depression issues. And then she ended up going back to school. There's just no...
You don't know what's going to fulfill you.
Oh, yeah. So what I was going to say is she always says, as a therapist now, one of her favorite sayings, and I have taken it on and I tell everybody, don't should on yourself, right? Because literally, like, saying should is shitting on yourself. Like, there is no should. If you could have done that, you would have done that. You weren't in the capacity or mind frame to do whatever you think you should have done. As long as we're always trying our best, that's what we should do.
Yeah.
That's the only should.
I think that's
in my opinion. I wonder if Melissa would say that.
That's a good mind frame to try and adapt on.
Yeah. I feel like I made a lot of friends in my 20s, right? I was going to the singles ward at church. And I have a few friends from there that are still like ride or die. Like one in particular, Nikki. Like we haven't talked in years, but I know if I called her up, she would be there for me. But for the most part, it was kind of superficial. I'm not going to lie. But then Melissa Walker and Scott, they were there for me. Yeah. I met them when I was 19, actually, in Ohio, when I was a nanny there. And it's true. And I moved there and I didn't have any friends. And so my 30s was me trying to rebuild my life and make friends, right? So one of the first things I did, and it wasn't even on purpose to make friends, it was more because I wanted to play board games, which is so dorky. But I had a friend in South Carolina who he was my best friend. We would get together and we would go to the mall, and there was this little tiny board game store that would let you open any game and play it. Because she wanted, that's part of how
Did you guys buy any?
No. But we were also like young college age. And anyway, so when I moved to Texas, I was like, I would like to play some games. And the Walkers, not that they wouldn't have played with me, but I didn't really own that many. And I don't know. So I went up online and I looked up a meetup. I went to the meetup.com and looked up a meetup, and I found a bunch of people would meet up at this. It was called Cafe Brazil. And it's just people get together, and at meetups, people are open. You're meeting people who are doing what you're already interested in. So like on meetup.com, you can find like hiking groups. You can find biking groups. You can find board game groups. You can find knitting groups.
That's what social media is like now.
It's true, but this is very specifically for groups. You get together to do that thing, right? Yeah. So you're kind of meeting somebody who
they have
already
travel
has
groups like that now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we ran into a group in where were we? In Costa Rica. There was like a large group of people, and Simon had stopped and asked what they were celebrating, and it was a bunch of singles that wanted to travel to Costa Rica. And so all the singles signed up for this trip and traveled together, so they didn't have to do it alone, but could still do it as singles.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have made some of my most best friends in the world to this day through that group. Shout out Lindy, Nancy, Daryl, Blake, Monty. But
feel left out if she forgot your name.
Please don't. The point is,
moral of the story is that Melissa does not have a hard time making friends.
Well, it was hard. I went that first time. It was uncomfortable because they're all playing games I don't know, and I felt kind of stupid. But when you're at a meetup, you're almost automatically around people who are trying to bond over something, and they're going to be open and accepting and be like, here, let me show you how we do it.
That makes sense.
Right? So that was a really easy way for me to make friends. And it just kind of happened. Like it was CW. I sat down at a game. Hi, CW. And he was like, hey, I think you would like to come over to another game night group that we have, like that's at someone's house. And then I started when I went to that, I was able to kind of like, you're fine. I was able to get more, more on the level of like talking to people and making friends.
Yeah. You got the awkwardness out.
Yeah. It wasn't just about games. Like the meetup was kind of just about games. But then when they invited me to that other person's house to play, it was more just like about friends getting together. And then, you start just making friends. It just kind of comes naturally if you can put yourself in the right place. So we do have a third episode coming up, and we're going to talk a little bit about, you're going to meet Lola. What got you in her group? Because she has a good group. It's a mom's group. And sometimes joining groups on Facebook is a good way to help you get out there too. You're, again, finding like-minded people.
No, joining a mom's group is just trying to find like other people that you can get advice from, or just kind of run things by, see other moms' humor and something that you may be struggling in and find some humor in and giggle over that over social media. But I don't know. So Courtney and I have known each other since high school. So we've been friends for like, what is that? Like 10 years, 12 years. Been friends for a long time. And we're still pretty close knit with a lot of the girls that we were in ROTC with. We still get together all the time. All of us were in Courtney's wedding, and we're about to be in another one of their weddings actually this year. But just making new friends. Like, we don't live close. So for any of us to get together, like, it's got to be a plan. It's got to be well thought out. And so now I live out in the sticks and got to make friends somehow. And I'm very socially awkward. I don't enjoy going out. I especially don't enjoy going out by myself. I get really stressed, and it's not for me. And I'm noticing I'm in this Women of Atlanta's group. And it actually is interesting to me that people who live in the city, in my mind, are people who are social anyways and like to get out anyways.
Oh, interesting.
And people who live out where I live, they typically are the people who are more kept to themselves, but they still have their close-knit friends. But people who live in the city that are in this group are all the time posting about, I don't have any friends. I'd like to meet new people. I'd like to meet new friends. And they're posting like dating ad descriptions of themselves saying, looking for a friend who's XYZ. I'm this age. I enjoy doing this. Yeah, I have a dog
like
that's
the
this
old
age.
Misconnection stuff in the newspaper.
Yeah. I mean, people are doing this in the groups, like trying to find new friends. And I just find it really interesting that everyone seems to struggle. I mean, I say everyone, but not everyone, but a lot of us do struggle making friends.
I think it's more prevalent than we might realize when you think
not I.
Well, if you think you're the only one in it, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably a lot more prevalent than we realize.
I guess because I see it a lot, I just kind of assume that was everyone's normal, like hard to make friends. But I'm also just significantly less social than people I do hang out with. But then I was reading so I got really curious about I struggle with this. So many people are struggling with it. There's even dating apps that have a side app for finding friends. Like, there's a friend Bumble.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. So I started reading about man, it's hard making friends in 30s. Why would this be? And so I found this article, and it's talking about how, when you're in your high school and your college years, you're around a constantly revolving door of people, people moving in, moving out. You're seeing these new people every single day, and socializing is what you're doing.
Interesting.
You're, going to school together and, talking, and, most people go to work and they have jobs and they're doing the same thing. They're meeting friends, and they're socializing a little bit here and there, but now we're adults, and at the end of the day, we're just too exhausted.
Yeah.
Usually your work friends stay your work friends. You don't really go out with them. You want to go home to your families. You want to go home to your dogs. You want to unwind before you have to do it all again. And so now there's this added exhaustion and just lack of desire. And on top of that, there's a sky rise in anxiety these days, and social anxiety. And that's really holding us back, because I'm sure we can all come up with a story or have a story where we were embarrassed in a social group, or where, it just sometimes doesn't feel worth it putting yourself out there.
Yeah, it can sometimes feel like, why did I even try?
Yes. There are girls who want to make friends and genuinely want to make friends. And so then they go and they meet someone online, or they meet someone at work, and they're like, okay, we're driving. All right, I'm gonna start trusting them. And then they start sharing their close-knit things with them. And then that person stabs them in the back.
100%. That happened
I'm thinking
to me
of Courtney
20s.
talking about this.
That
yes.
happened to me too. It's very strange. Now, granted, both of the people that I feel in my memory when I say that happened to me, they have since reached out and either apologized. Actually, there's 3 people.
Oh my God.
They have since reached out and apologized. And
dude, that's unheard of.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm lucky. Here's the thing. It's really easy to either just trust and give everything you have to something, or maybe hold back everything. And it's like, where's that happy medium where you can be like, hey, I'm going to give just enough that I can foster a friendship without actually giving enough to, if it doesn't work out, where I feel like just crushed and ruined. Right.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes just remembering, look at things objectively, because I sometimes have this thing where I just trust. I wanted to trust people. I'm not so much that way anymore over the years. I feel like I've kind of learned how to start just saying, let's just not share it all. Let's just, let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't mean to say that we should all hold ourselves back. I want to create, I want us to create a community where we don't have to do that.
And I hope that it works. I hope that,
I do too.
That people want to share their struggles. And the point is that there's someone else in our group that's also been through the same thing or similar thing and can relate.
And we're not going to be judged for our mistakes because we're not perfect. But yeah, I do think that I did go through a lot of friends in my 20s that aren't necessarily in my life today. Now, actually, I have a couple. Connie Emmett, love you.
Name drop.
I can't help it. I just love some of these people so much. And I don't talk to them every day, but they played significant roles in my life, and I will never forget them for some of the things that they were there for me through. But I guess what I'm saying is, back to my 20s, I did go through a lot of friends that I think I just thought, oh, immediately we're going to be friends forever. And it's not always like that. Sometimes people are in your life just for a season. I heard that recently.
Sometimes you're not meant to be friends with someone forever.
That, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like you must attract because you're such a positive, bright person and personality and help everyone that you must attract these people that also have these deep can find meaning yeah, what is the word I'm trying to
I attracted you. So look at you.
I think those technically are husbands. I don't know how our paths wouldn't have crossed.
True.
If our husbands wouldn't have gotten together.
Married. Sometimes I wonder if they should have been the ones. No, just kidding.
They do have a pretty nice bromance going on.
They do. They're adorable. Yeah, it's true. Our paths crossed because of that, but
I liked you immediately.
I liked you too. And we're actually fostering a friendship, right? And I don't do that with everybody. I feel like I don't have the time. And sometimes I feel like this is going to sound a little mean, but it's not meant to be. Sometimes I feel like I'm so tired. I don't want any more friends. So the fact that we are fostering a relationship is big. Yes, you're right. I am very selective about who I want to keep in my life because I have had some situations in the past where it was rough. I think maybe we've all had those. I don't know. I guess I am kind of introspective, so maybe I've overanalyzed my life.
As we all do at some point in different aspects. But I don't know. That's a very different, I don't know. We had opposite experiences, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So it's nice to hear the side where you get to be selective and you get to the point where it's okay, people don't like me so much. Just go away.
That sounded so bad. I didn't mean it like that, but
just go away. I mean, I'm like that too, even though sometimes I'll be sitting at home by myself. I'm it might be nice to go have coffee with someone. I'm tired of sitting here. It's been 7 days. But this
not my last friend that I let into my life, but one of my very close friends. Her name is Pyle. She had to fight to be my friend.
Sorry.
I'm not lying. And it's not because I'm amazing. It's not what I mean either. It's because I was closed off and I really thought I just didn't have the emotional energy to have a friend.
That's fair.
Friend in my life. Yeah.
You should be able to feel like that.
Yeah. And she was like, we will hang out and we will. And so I'm like, fine. And so we hung out. And then I even tried to kind of break up with her. I was like, I think you're too young for me. She's going to die laughing when she hears this.
You did not.
I for real did.
Oh my God. It's not you, it's me. You're too young for me, bro.
And then she's like, how old do you fucking think I am? And I was like, I think you're like 23. And she was like 29 or 30. I don't remember. But I was like, okay, I can't use that. No, just kidding. The truth is, like, once I let her in, and sometimes, yeah, we think we can step back and be selective. And I think that's a good thing. But sometimes it's also good to remember we don't always know what's best for ourselves. And she has been amazing in my life.
Aw.
Yeah. I'm so glad that she persisted. My dumbass.
You pushed me to hang out with you.
Did I?
And not because I didn't want to. It's just because I'm like, oh.
Tell me when. I don't
she's
remember.
She's not going to like me. I
felt like you wouldn't like me because you're young and cool and gorgeous and hip and
Oh my God, shut up. Y'all came over for a dinner date because we hadn't seen each other in probably a year at that point. It'd been a while.
Yeah.
We used to not see each other that often.
And remember, Simon and Brett are best friends.
Our best friends, even though Brett will silent him for a while.
He will silent me if he has the chance.
And so Simon goes, no, Brett is coming over and I'm going to try to like Melissa and we're having dinner.
He said, I'm going to try.
Okay, he probably didn't say those words.
He liked me by then.
He probably did. Oh, yeah, and you did come to our wedding. So, bridges had been crossed at that point. So I remember I was getting like really down because I'm a stay-at-home mom and it just didn't feel like it was for me and postpartum depression. And I was like, oh, Melissa said she wanted to meet the baby. And I was like, and she said she wanted to get together sometime. So
I didn't think you would call me.
And so then I was like, okay, well, I'll see if Melissa wants to get together.
That's right. You put yourself out there.
I did. And it was very awkward for me. And I might have cried the night before. I was like, Simon, what if she doesn't like me? Like, what if she doesn't show up? What if I get, what's it called? When someone doesn't show up to a blind date?
Stood up.
That
happened to me before.
Oh, no. By like a man or by a friend?
Man.
Oh.
I was 17.
Oh. Okay. If we're going back that far, I sure have too. By the same man twice.
Okay. It's true. Sometimes we don't know what we need. Like me with Kyle.
Oh, I know what I need. I just
okay. Or we just
not willing to do
against it. Okay. Fair enough.
Oh man. Well, I guess so. In my case, it doesn't help my case because obviously I'm just not quite willing to do the work. Though I'm at that point. I am at the point where it's really just you and Courtney. And this is where the seizures have really been frustrating because I'm at this point where it's like, I want to go out and do hobbies and meet friends and see where it goes. And now I can't take myself anywhere and make those friends. But when I was doing, my handy dandy Google searches, it was suggesting that ways to make friends when, after school and when you're in your 30s and you find that you're ready for a new cycle of friends, then here's some things that you can do to meet them. And of course we talked about the apps, we talked about the social media groups and stuff, but like Melissa said, it also suggested finding a hobby, getting into that. My favorite one that I was really laughing at was go and meet your neighbors.
Oh, interesting.
Like, am I gonna ask for a cup of sugar?
I feel like we don't know our neighbors anymore.
I don't know. I thought that I would have all the friends in this neighborhood when we first moved here. I was like, oh, I might actually have some mom friends in the neighborhood and we can have wine nights and stuff and it might be really fun. And then I don't think they like me.
I feel like that one's a little tricky because you're not curating your own group. You're just kind of sticking with what's around you. But you never know.
Oh, we hosted out of our own money and pocket a whole neighborhood get together and had blow-ups for the kids so that the families could come over. We provided food. We paid for a blow-up slide and pool, and not too many people came over. We did enjoy everyone who did come over for the meet and greet, and everyone who brought their kids, and no one really kept up. And the kids play with our closest.
You tried.
We did try. I did try. And then our closest neighbor has kids that are the same exact age as all of our kids. And I had high hopes that would be my wine buddy too. But no, not there yet.
Do you think you want to keep pursuing that one?
I think they don't like me.
Oh. But wait, you thought that about me?
I know. I yes. I think our lifestyles are vastly different.
Ooh, I'm going to give you a challenge for the week.
No.
Okay, she said no. I was going to be invite her over for a glass of wine. Go out of your comfort zone.
I don't know.
Well, we're telling you what you can do.
I got a fun story on why I'm saying no.
Okay. Are you allowed to share it?
I guess.
Just no names.
It was a big fail. It was a big parenting fail that I was so upset and cried for hours over because I'm so upset. So thing 3 hadn't napped at all that day. And so it's getting to the late evening, and then she just crashes and like fell asleep on Simon's chest, fully dressed, shoes and everything. And we like pick her up because we're like, oh, we should probably wake her. But she stays asleep. And we're like, man, this is an opportunity. We can get some quiet time. So the older thing 1 and thing 2 are at the neighbor's house playing. And so we just quietly go and we lay thing 3 in her bed. And then we tiptoe on over to the hot tub. Have not left the house. Thing 2 comes home from the neighbors, and apparently thing 3 had woken up. And so when thing 2 comes home, she hears thing 3 crying, and they're very tight. They are very close. And she doesn't look for us. She doesn't look anywhere for us. She comes in the house.
She didn't even look in the house because you were in the hot tub?
She was in the house, and I remember I had my German Shepherd Ada with me outside while we were in the hot tub. And I remember she told me that someone was home in the house. And so I looked at Simon and I said, oh, thing 3's home. And then I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and she never comes out. And so then I start getting antsy, and I'm like, Simon, can you check your phone, please? And he goes, okay. And I grab his phone, I give it to him, and there's like missed texts, missed calls from the neighbor. Thing 2 thought that we left the house without the baby, took the baby out of her crib and took her to the neighbor's house and said that we left them.
Oh, no.
And so I was so embarrassed. And this happened not once, twice. Not twice with the baby, though, but twice. She went over to their house crying, coming back to their house saying that we left them. And the second time was just because the garage door was shut. She didn't even come in the house that time.
Oh, no.
And so I was so embarrassed.
Okay.
I was like,
does your neighbor know how upset it made you and
No,
how
of course
embarrassed?
not. Well, one time she did come over because there was like an incident with the neighborhood and utilities being crossed and stuff. And she came over to ask a question. And I was like, okay, real awkward, but you are aware we'd never leave the house without our child. And she goes, yes, I figured. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Just making sure.
Okay. Well, my takeaway is you are completely entitled to not want her to be your wine buddy anymore.
No,
but I feel like if
she offered, I would for sure do it.
I feel like maybe you're projecting a little on how much she doesn't like you. Maybe she does.
Okay, I'm projecting. I'm projecting.
I think she could be projecting just a little, but I might be wrong. Maybe she hates you.
That's what I thought. Oh, that's what I thought.
I guess I'm just saying, sometimes we get in our head.
Is that a sign?
Yeah.
I told you. That's also why I won't go over and ask for a cup of sugar.
No, it might actually just be a sign that you don't want to be her friend. Not to be mean, but growing up, my parents had a lot of restrictions about who we were and weren't allowed to play with. But it's because my parents were a little too extra.
Too strict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but in this day of time, though, you do have to be very worrisome about, you don't really know the parents that your kids are going over to play with.
True,
you really
but
don't.
She could easily get to know you. You're her next door neighbor.
That is true.
In conclusion, are we concluding yet?
If you are struggling to make friends, there are ways to do it. And you should go and join a hobby. I really want to join a hobby. I want to go to a paint class and I want to learn different mediums of art. That would be a lot of fun. I want to do dancing. I want to go to dance classes. Maybe I used to love line dancing. Going to line dancing again would be really fun. And that's a really fun way to meet friends.
Yeah. So leave comments. Tell us kind of your experiences. What are you guys going through? Are you feel like your friend meter is full? Are you feeling like you want to meet more people, but
that's
you don't know how?
That's a great way to word it. Is your friend meter full or is it running low?
Thank you.
It's like a love tank.
Aw, I like that too. That's really cool. So yeah, just like, because I really do want this, we say it every episode, but I'm very serious. This is a community that we're trying to build of non-judgment and love and support. And maybe
you can be our friend.
That if you want to be, we would love it. But also maybe you'll meet somebody in our little community.
Well, maybe you can be my friend because Melissa's meter is full.
My meter is really full.
I'll be your friend.
it would make me feel good, like we did something today.
It would make me feel very
if
happy.
I could see you guys on social media talking to each other and
Yes.
maybe even like getting together.
Being vulnerable and people being kind in return.
That it takes nothing to be kind.
Nothing. And so, next time on our next show, we will be having Lola, and she is the creator of a group called Not Your Mama's Group, and she has cultivated this group for moms where there is a no tolerance policy for rudeness.
Won't you get blocked if you are rude to somebody who posts a question like that?
Yes.
That's
if you
what
don't
she
have
means.
anything nice to say,
You're
you don't
allowed to
say.
post controversial things.
Oh, yes. Did I say that wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, I had another thought that I wanted added in somewhere.
I want it.
I think that if y'all are interested, I think that if there's enough of us that are local, I think we could have our own hangout.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
We could. A brunch link up. Brunch up?
A brunch up. We just made up a new thing.
A brunch up, girls. Yes. I think join our page, like our page. Let's see if there's a bunch of us that are local and let's have a brunch up. That'd be fun. Well, join us next time to meet Lola, and we will continue to post for your Monday mornings at 5 a.m., and we look forward to meeting you.
We do.
Join us again next time. Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Okay, hippie.
Connect with us on Facebook or Instagram to stay up to date on future episodes.